So here are my final thoughts on the Mariners trade deadline. Jerry, you didn't do enough. You did not go all in like you said you were going to. You, as per usual, and as per Jerry Dipoto fashion, stopped just short of going all in. You saw the line, so here's the line, and you got right up to the line and you decided not to cross it. You basically got to the 5-yard line and sat on the ball. We watched the Yankees build a super bullpen yesterday, and they didn't really give up anything to get guys like Camilo Duvall, David Bednar, and Jake Bird. They didn't give up. They didn't give up much. Who else got relievers? Relievers, for the most part, they didn't go for much. They didn't go for like top prospects or anything. You could have easily gotten yourself a Camilo Duvall, or David Bednar, or a Seth Halverson, or a Dennis Santana, or a Pete Fairbanks, or anybody of that ilk, but you chose not to. You chose to sit on your ass and do nothing on trade deadline while everybody else went and got better. You chose that, actively chose that. You decided, well, we got Gino, that's good enough. No, that's not good enough, dipshit. It's not. Dylan Moore is still on your bench. Donovan Solano is still on your bench. This is unfucking acceptable. Have you watched Dylan Moore and Donovan Solano at all in the last 2 months? Dylan Moore couldn't hit fucking water if he fell out of a goddamn boat, and Donovan Solano can't hit lefties. Meanwhile, Dominic Canzone is your everyday right fielder for the time being. Hopefully Luke Raley comes back soon and rectifies that situation. Donovan Solano is below 200. He's not effective at the plate. Not for the last 2.5 weeks. For the back half of July, he has been fairly ineffective at the plate. I get it. He's got a lot of power. But that power doesn't do shit when the guy wielding the stick can't hit the fucking ball. It just doesn't work. You know, when Luke Raley comes back and he's your everyday right fielder, that hopefully will rectify some of that because Luke Raley is a better hitter. However, you still have the same problem with Dominic Canzone. You have a lefty who can't fucking hit lefties. And then your bullpen is still iffy. And now you potentially lost Trent Thornton to an Achilles injury. So now you got to address that situation. And watching your press conference yesterday, your plan going forward, that's not a plan, man. That is not a plan. Hoping Bryce Miller comes back. Hoping Gregory Santos gets back. Hoping Victor Robles gets back. That's not a fucking plan. You are banking on a lot of things to go right, and in reality, that very rarely happens. You could have had Willie Castro if you wanted to replace Dylan Moore. Chose not to. You could have had a right field bat to replace Dominic Canzone. You chose not to. You probably could have had Luis Robert. You chose not to. I don't care what the reports say about the White Sox wanting this, that, and the other. It's bullshit. They're bluffing. They're not going to pick up his $20 million option next year. They're going to wait. They're going to wait until the offseason and until all the 29 teams can bid on him, and then they'll sell him off at a slightly higher rate. They're fucking bluffing. You're telling me you couldn't give up a Harry Ford and a Michael Morales for Luis Robert? Or for Harry Ford or Michael Morales for Luis Robert? Because I can tell you right now, I don't think it would have cost much more than a Harry Ford or a Michael Morales plus, something lower in your farm system to get a Luis Robert. You guys didn't even fucking try to fix your bench on yesterday. You guys didn't even fucking try to fix your bullpen yesterday. You had the opportunity, you had the means, you had the prospect capital. You just decided, no, fuck it, we're done. We got Gino. That's good enough. That's not good enough. Not at all. You want to know what going all in looks like? The Yankees went all in. That's the Yankees. The Yankees showed their fans they want to win a World Series. You showed your fans that, yeah, we want to win a World Series, but yes, signing Naylor, signing Gino, or trading for Naylor, trading for Gino, trading for Ferguson, without giving up much prospect capital. That's impressive, and all that, and I commend you for that. I really do. It is an impressive feat. But not fixing your fucking bullpen. Not addressing the Dylan Moore situation. Not addressing the Donovan Solano situation. Not addressing the Dominic Canzone situation. When you could have easily fixed all 4 problems yesterday. That is unfucking acceptable. You said you were going all in and you stopped just short. You did not do your jobs. Bar none, period, did not do it. And I, for one, am sick of listening to you saying one thing and doing another thing. Yes, you had an impressive deadline, but it's not good enough. You should be fired. Because you did not go all the way. You did not take it all the way. You did just enough to save your sorry ass, and that's it. That's not good enough. Not in the least. Not a little bit. Now you gotta fight with every other team on the waiver wire for players that are getting DFA. Hopefully you go and get Brian De La Cruz. Hopefully you go and get a starter or a reliever like Ryan Presley or De Los Santos or Peguero or any other relievers that were released that could be helpful. Stroman was just released today. Maybe take a flyer on him to be your number 5 starter until Bryce Miller potentially gets back, because relying on Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock ain't working. So yeah, you stopped just short. You still got a whole lot of glaring deficiencies on this team, and you chose not to fix them. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off beyond anything else. Because you chose not to do it when you easily could have done it. Yes, getting Griffin Jax was out of the question because you don't have a Taj Bradley to give up. Fine, whatever. But you're telling me you couldn't have given up like a Ty Pete to get Willie Castro or Michael Morales to get Willie Castro? You're telling me you couldn't give up a couple of lower tier prospects in the 30s to go get Phil Maton? No, that's not acceptable. You're telling me you couldn't meet the White Sox demand for Luis Robert Jr. Unless it was like a ridiculous ask, you could have met that demand. But you chose to sit on your hands and do nothing. While Texas made additions to their bullpen and got better. The Astros got better. You had a chance on trade deadline day to get better than the Astros and the Rangers. You chose not to. You chose to sit around with your thumb up your ass and do nothing. And then you go on national media. Well, we were in the end zone on one, and we thought we had it. That's not good enough. That's just it's not. It is not fucking good enough. If you're in the fucking end zone, score the fucking touchdown. Get the fucking player. I don't want to hear how you were in the end zone. That does no fucking good. The bottom line, Jerry, is for everything you did at this deadline, you still failed. Because you sat on your ass and did nothing on trade deadline day when you had all the fucking prospect capital in the world to get that shit done. And that, to me, is unfucking acceptable. Completely unacceptable.